Daily Wire has this report. Target is facing backlash over a designer featured in the company's Pride collection who appears to have created products with satanic imagery. Now, one thing we should note as we read on here is that anyone who's making Pride, anyone who's making anything related to Pride, the Pride flag and all that, it's all satanic imagery to begin with. But this is, so I think we should say that this is explicitly satanic imagery. Scarlett Johnson, an activist from Wisconsin, went viral on Twitter this weekend with a thread explaining why she is done with the retailer. In particular, Johnson took issue with Target listing 3 items on its online store from Ab Pralin, a London-based designer of products that sometimes mix imagery and messages about gender with the macabre. None of the 3 colorful apparel items for sale on the label on Target's website have satanic imagery. The catalog includes a We Belong Everywhere mini messenger bag for $18. Another is a Too Queer for Here tote bag for $18. And a third is a Cure Transphobia Not Trans People sweatshirt for $25. All are listed under Pride adult clothing. But Johnson highlighted other products for sale that are shown on the website for this designer, an associated Instagram account with about 25,000 followers. Among them is a skeleton draped in rainbow colors, a Trans Witches for Abortion badge, and a Satan Respects Pronouns t-shirt. Johnson's thread, which has been retweeted thousands of times since it began on Saturday, with many other users criticizing Target and some even calling for a boycott. Others complimented the products and questioned why Johnson had a problem with the designer's work. The product page for the Satan Respects Pronouns shirt talks about how LGBT plus people are so often referred to as being a product of Satan or going against God's will, while making the case that the Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple are more accepting of the gay community. Quote, Satanists don't actually believe in Satan. He's merely used as a symbol of passion, pride, and liberty. Yeah, that's true. A lot of self-professed Satanists don't believe in Satan, although Satan believes in them. So when we talk about Satanists, and this is why I say that leftism is Satanism. They mean the same thing, because Satanism is the worship of the self, right? Satanists don't explicitly or knowingly most of the time worship Satan, unless they're actual theological, I guess what we would call theological Satanists, which most of them aren't. Rather, they worship what Satan worships, which is the self. And that is also leftism. Leftism is the worship of the self. So really anything associated with leftism, any slogan, anything like that associated with leftism is satanic imagery for that reason. It's just that in this case, again, it's explicit. Now we know that corporate America is being held hostage by ESG, the Corporate Equality Index and all that, all these extortion methods. And that's why Bud Light jumped on the grenade. But this kind of thing, this is not just Target checking the woke box for the sake of getting their score up, right? This is, you don't have to promote literal outright Satanism for that. They're doing this because they believe it on a corporate level. This is who runs the company. This is what the company is all about. And consumers need to make a decision based on that. President Trump recently issued a warning from his Mar-a-Lago home, quote, our currency is crashing and will soon no longer be the world standard, which will be our greatest defeat, frankly, in 200 years. There are 3 reasons the central banks are dumping the U.S. dollar: inflation, deficit spending, and our insurmountable national debt. The fact is, there is one asset that has withstood famine, wars, and political and economic upheaval dating back to biblical times, and that is gold. I bought gold from Birch Gold in preparation for uncertain economic times, and you can trust them too. You can own gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account with the help of Birch Gold. That's right, Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. The best part is you don't pay a penny out of pocket up front. When currencies fail, gold is a safe haven. How much more time does a dollar have? You can protect your savings with gold. Birch Gold has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Thousands of happy customers, and you can find out why by texting Walsh to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold. Again, text Walsh to 989898 today. You know, buying a new car can be a stressful experience for anyone, especially if you're a first-time buyer, if you have no credit. Before you walk into a dealership and spend the entire day with the crowds, the stress, the potential to not even find the right car, you need to check out CarZing. CarZing is completely changing the way you buy a car online. By partnering with credit agencies, lenders, and over 25,000 dealers nationwide, CarZing provides you with everything you need before stepping foot into a dealership. You can instantly pre-qualify online without affecting your credit score. And you get instant financing details, including what your down payment would be, your monthly payment, your terms, APR, putting you several steps ahead of other buyers. And once you find the right car at your ideal budget, all you have to do is bring your Save Deal voucher with you to the dealership to finalize your next ride. It's really simple, takes the stress out of it as well. Even if you're not in the market for a new car, you should check out CarZing anyway. It's like window shopping. Just poke around, see what's available in your area. CarZing helps make your experience faster, cheaper, and less stressful. You can visit carzing.com/Walsh today to skip the guesswork and find the best deals near you. That's carzing.com/Walsh. You know, we talk all the time about how these, we shouldn't support companies that hate us, and that's true. And it's also true that not every company that goes woke does it necessarily because they hate us. Not that I'm defending them. Bud Light, does Bud Light hate us? Well, no. They are more afraid of the left than they are of us, and so they thought that they could throw a bone to the left and we wouldn't do anything about it, and they thought wrong. And we are punishing them for that, thank God. So there is that motivation. But then in many cases, in fact, these are companies that actually hate us, and that's Target. They truly hate us. They really do. You don't put your pride display right at the front of the store. You walk into Target and it's right there vomiting rainbows on you as soon as you walk in. You don't do that. You don't sell merchandise from designers that make Satanist gear. You don't sell tucking underwear for children and whatever else unless you absolutely despise your customers. And they do. So what are we going to do about it is the question. You know, I admitted with the Bud Light thing that although I support the boycott, I helped to organize it. I think it's a great thing to continue boycotting. In spite of that, I could not actually, I never personally participated in the Bud Light boycott because I can't, because I was never a Bud Light customer to begin with on account of the fact that I have functioning taste buds. So for me, it's to say that I'm boycotting is just to say that I'm going to continue doing what I've been doing all along, which is buying beer that actually tastes good. Target, on the other hand, I can boycott because, of course, as a dad, 6 kids, Target is convenient. It's relatively cheap, at least compared to other options. If it's like 7:30 on a Tuesday and you realize that you need diapers or children's Tylenol or spaghetti sauce or all of those things for some reason, Target is often going to be the quickest and easiest solution, depending on where you live. And it will take some measure of actual sacrifice to cut them out of the equation. It's not a big sacrifice. It's not anything significant. They aren't going to build monuments to commemorate the time that I needed to buy a swimsuit for my 6-year-old and I drove past Target and went to Walmart instead. It's not exactly a hero's journey, but even so, it requires actual inconvenience. Okay? This is the kind of boycott. Boycotting Bud Light, this is why they were a good target to begin with, why they made such a mistake. It's why they were so vulnerable, because not only do they have a conservative customer base, but it doesn't require any sacrifice at all to just buy different beer. You go to the gas station, you open up you go to the refrigerated section, you open it up, you just grab something else. That's it. But Target, you have to embrace a little bit of inconvenience. And this is the real test, is whether we can successfully execute a boycott that involves inconvenience. Because inconvenience is the great horror of modern life. We cannot endure inconvenience. That's where we draw the line. Usually we'll say, okay, I'm with you, I'm on board. And then we hear, okay, it's going to require a little bit of inconvenience. Well, never mind then. That's crazy. What do I look like? I can't be inconvenienced. But we need to be, because Target needs to pay for this. A message must be sent. And it just like with Bud Light, it's still a boycott, but it's also, they've been branded a certain way where it's embarrassing. This is why Bud Light is probably permanently screwed, because it's now embarrassing to drink a Bud Light. it should have always been embarrassing, but now it's certainly embarrassing. And it needs to be that way for Target. Like you should be embarrassed at this point to go to Target, to be seen walking out of Target with those Target bags. It's embarrassing. And that's what needs to happen here. That'll do it for this portion of the show. As we move over to the members block, hope to see you there. If not, talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Godspeed.